Welcome. This is the ARC Lady, and today in our ARC Tech Talk, we're going to be exploring small business blunders online. I just finished a website for a client, and she agreed to let me share this information with you. The first three that I want to hit today are: if you don't own your domain name, it's a problem. If you're using public email, that's a problem. And if you don't rely on professionals, that's a problem. And I'll get into a little bit more detail and give you some examples. Okay, so let's look at the domain name. Domain name means usually your website URL. So when you look at the top of your browser, like right here, you can see that this is a WordPress website. This is a subdomain on a WordPress website. Here's the subdomain right there. Okay, so if I were using this and something happened, first of all, I could lose everything, which means you have to back up anyway. But the problem is I don't own it. WordPress.com owns it. Same thing with Blogger. It's a great platform. I actually started on it, but I moved everything over into my own domains, and you can do that as well. Okay, so the problem that this client had is she went ahead and she thought that this template looked pretty good. So she got a domain name, registered it with a service, and there's the entry. Okay, so the problem here is if you're looking for SEO to get website traffic, this is not going to do it. And she quickly found out that that's not going to do it. She has not been getting any traffic at all. Okay, so when we click over, here's the contact form, but let's take a look at the portfolios. So you can see they all have the same URL. So there's no way that it's being optimized to get her traffic. So things look nice, but they're not working for her. And that's the whole thing. You need to get found by your customers, potential customers, and the search engines. Now, if we look at the back end, we can see it looks pretty easy. What this company does is provide, kind of like some other companies, quick options for people to set up a website. You don't need any coding. You just kind of put things up right away. So it allows you to click through and put things in there, and problem is you don't have any way to sort of fiddle around with it. It's very limited as to what you can do. Now, if you want to take a look at something a little different, I went ahead and put her, this is, it's not live yet, this is where we're working on it, but I wanted to show you the difference. This is an archive page where people can go and find everything about the site in one location. Also, you see that it's a copyright, and you see that it's got the right title, and that the extension here is related to what the page is. I haven't shown you the top part, but the top part's also optimized. We have rotating testimonials. You can navigate by the pages or a navigation bar. You have everything in the archives will start coming up. And then if you want, she can update this easily and share information with everyone about what she's doing. This was a nice little post that she had done in the Wall Street Journal featuring her photography. And it's real easy to go in and edit. You can just click over, and this is the back end of her website. So she can just go in and type. It's not super sophisticated. It's a great thing for anybody to use and own. So if we go back to the site, you can learn a little bit about her, and also the site's not done yet, but we're still working on it, and contact information. So eventually this is also going to have her address and telephone number, but you can send her an email directly, and the nice thing about that is you don't get a lot of spam emails. So the thing about this also is when you get your own domain, even though you might be using, remember we talked about not using public email, if you're using a public service, many people use things like Yahoo or Gmail or AT&T, MSM, Hotmail, you name it. I'm not picking on any specific one, but it doesn't give you a very professional image if you're a business owner. And what most people fail to understand is if you use those email addresses and you change your email or you lose that email access, all the marketing materials, all the connections that you have in those boxes are gone. So a better strategy is to get your own domain email, and then you can actually forward it to the one you always use. So you don't have to have, you have that professional presence, but it comes right to your own email box, and there's not a lot of problems with that. And then the final error is people don't rely on professionals. So you'll see a lot of advertising on television for instant websites, and just keep in mind they're like this. They might look good, but they're not going to work for you. And oftentimes, if they're on a subdomain, they're really not going to work for you. Fortunately for her, this company was really nice about releasing the domain back into her name, and we're getting ready to transfer it around the first of the year. So she'll have a new presence that will work for her and get her traffic and keep her in contact with new customers and potential customers and customers who love her. And you can see her work. I don't think I showed you the portfolio. But the portfolio is a little bit different in that it doesn't have huge images unless you want them to be huge. So you can see it tells you the year it was taken. There's other information that you can put in there. But if you want to take a closer look, you just click it. And this is specific for her photography. But it will go ahead and open a window where you can get a closer look and find more information about the property. So for some reason it's not loading up, so we'll just leave that. Okay, and the other thing is if you're not in social media, you should probably be in social media. And you probably should have a professional help you with that, because some people go out and follow 50 million people. You're not building relationships. Social media is that, social. So don't just think that you're going to go out and get a lot of followers or follow a lot of people, because it's not going to work for you. You need a specific strategy. In this case, the name was already taken, so we had to find another username for her, but that's okay because it is very similar to another property that she's using. And then finally, if you look over here, we set up a Facebook page. So it's brand new, but it will help her connect with her clientele both on the web and in the social media market. So I hope that's been a little bit clearer for you. If you don't rely on professionals and what they tell you, the difference is she's paying a monthly fee to host that site that's not working for her. For less money than she's paying, I was able to set up her own domain hosting, get her domain name, and she'll have a charge every year and own the domain property, have her private email address attached to the domain, and see better traffic from it, which ultimately the goal is to reach out to your audience and make more money. So I hope that's been useful. This has been a little long, but this is the ARC Lady. Feel free to connect with me on Twitter, and if you like this, send me a note and share it with your friends. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.